All right, good morning, my friends. It is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. We're going to go ahead and jump back to yesterday and take a look. It was another inside day where the market didn't really go anywhere until the overnight session where we kind of broke out a little bit. But let's go ahead and jump back and take a look here. Just FYI, guys, I sent out the report this morning and did not update the pictures of the charts, so I resent that out just now. That's why I'm starting a minute late. So just be aware I just sent it into the room, so you want to download that second file that I shared. So let's take a look. So yesterday, coming into the open, we said it was going to be a mixed bag. We were inside of a battle zone. We needed to see the bulls at least get through the high the day before to have any faith in that direction, and then we needed to really see the bears get down through at least the lows of the day before there, and then down through the previous daily low before we were really interested in being bears on the higher time frames. And so everything in between here, everything inside of the trading session from the day before, I told you was going to be probably a choppy and tricky thing. And I was going to be patient to see if we could actually get outside of that area. So let's take a look at the details here. Had a lot of trouble right at 72.5. That has been a pretty relevant level for the last little few. Did go ahead and pop through it and try to hold above, but then got back down below and held it for the pullback here. There were some, I would say probably the best opportunity right out of the open was to buy the VWAP on the pullback. Yes, the 200 was also a good bet there, but it didn't work. So this pop-off VWAP would have been a really good opportunity, considering that you could see that we were attempting to break out and push to new highs. So maybe the pullback for the bounce would have been a decent little play. If you did, you got a little over 5 points and it didn't go anywhere. And then from there, again, it was a choppy day. Let's just zoom out and look at what happened here. It was just, back and forth, no real clear bias one way or the other. In my opinion, the most relevant level of the day was Hopel. And this is kind of the case nearly every day. We see Hopel become a very important rotational area in the chart. And so yesterday, once the market had sold off, got through VWAP, got the crossovers, the kiss off the back end of either VWAP itself or Hopel would have been really, really good plays. Of course, the problem is the market didn't go anywhere. Again, it just maybe if you caught the play off Hopel on the first test there, you might have gotten about 10 points out of it, and then it was right back up to trade in the same area. And again, nothing really too important to highlight here outside the fact that basically the low of the day was our scaffolding down here. We did duck through it by a point in most of these instances, except for this second test. We did kind of cut through by about 2 points there. But basically holding within a point on a lot of these tests. Again, the issue is that didn't really go anywhere. You got maybe 6-7 points out of the first pop into Hopel there. You got maybe a couple points on these other tests over here. So again, just really no follow through on a lot of the plays that we could have tried yesterday off the levels. And then at the end of the day, it popped right back up to where we were at the open. And that was it. So we got a little pullback and parry off the 200 right in the last few minutes of the extended session there. But again, really, what's interesting to me is, again, Hopel was basically one of the most relevant levels throughout the day where we kept coming into it. We got above it and tried to hold above, got back below, held below. And then right at the end of the day here, we broke out, pulled back right to it, and then led to that final little bullish push at the end of the day there. So that's our review for yesterday. Again, nothing too exciting. We traded right inside of, if we go back to the day before, right inside of all the price action from the day before. So that brings us here into the overnight session coming into this morning. And I guess luckily we've gone ahead and rallied right outside of the pocket that we wanted to get outside of yesterday. So in the overnight session here, as you can see, some trouble at VWAP. And then we got the breakout here about an hour ago, maybe hour and a half ago. And now here we're coming up right into our major scaffolding up at 49.95. There was a little trouble right at 72 to the or 89.5 to the tick, which was the beginning of our major task zone. Which, remember, if we go to the higher time frames, we've got this highlighted here from 89 to 95, 96 as the major area of resistance, and that was that pocket that, if you scroll back, was exactly where we had trouble at the end of last week. Right, we came right up into the pocket, right into the scaffolding, failed off of it, and now here we are coming back up into it now in the overnight session. And interestingly enough, we parry off of it for the pullback, and then once the bulls got through it, we pull back and parried right off of it for the continuation higher. So we're right at the moment of truth here to see if we can break out of that major bearish multiple time frame signal from Friday's high all the way back over here. And let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames, see